Huang, and I want to introduce you to attorney Carol Zenzel, who does both residential and commercial real estate closings. How are you managing, Carol, in this time we're in?
You know, we're managing, we're working from home and going to the office when we need to pass things back and forth and, you know, figuring it out. People are sliding things under the door and, you know, we're all kind of figuring it out. I haven't had to actually have a closing since this started. We'll do the first one next week. So
that's right. That's my closing.
It's your closing.
Right.
And I have a couple other ones. So hopefully we'll get that worked out because it's a little more complicated now, but it can happen.
So tell us what you're going to cook for us today.
I am going to make homemade brownies.
Oh, yum.
And these I'm actually going to be making gluten-free because I'm gluten-free.
Okay, so let's get started.
Let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is we have to melt 2 sticks of butter and 4 ounces of unsweetened chocolate. I use the Tard versus the Baker's, but you could use the Baker's either way, but it's 4 ounces of it. And you melt that, and then you have to let it cool for a little bit. The brownies come out better if the mixture is on the cooler side, because later we add chocolate chips, and if it's too warm, then the chocolate chips melt completely. And I think it's better when they don't completely melt in the recipe when it's cooking. So there's a little crunchy stuff going on in there.
So it's double sin, chocolate and chocolate chips.
Oh yeah. Well, this is unsweetened, and then the chocolate chips, the recipe calls for semi-sweet. I like dark chocolate, so
me too.
I buy the bittersweet, or if you can get the pink bag of the Tard, which is the even darker chocolate, but I couldn't get that, so we're using the bittersweet one.
Well, if you use dark chocolate, it's more guilt-free because you're really adding antioxidants into the brownies.
Exactly, so it's way healthy for you. That's how I look at it. So while that's going on, you're gonna take 1 3/4 cups sugar and then beat in 4 eggs. And I do my brownies all by hand. They're not something that you wanna overmix.
Right.
Okay, so you mix the sugar and the eggs, and it should look, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Oh, yum.
To this liquid mixture. All right, so this is the gluten-free flour. I use cup for cup, which I think is the best gluten-free flour. I've tried all different kinds, but this one seems to most approximate regular flour.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this calls for just under a cup of flour, and you just kind of have to approximate it. I just kind of keep it maybe like a quarter
smidge
inch
under.
Yeah, I'm sure that at one point in time this was like a gram measurement, because like I said, it came from a professional chef, but that's his conversion for us. Just under a cup. And then you need a teaspoon of baking powder and a ½ teaspoon of salt.
Nice that you don't need equipment to dirty up and mix. You just use your hands.
Yeah, you could just use your hands. I mean, I guess I could do it. I have a KitchenAid, but I've never used it for this particular recipe. All right, so we just have to chat a couple minutes while I let this chocolate mixture cool off a little bit. And then you're going to put the chocolate in with the eggs and the vanilla, and then you'll add your flour into that. And then you have brownies.
Yum.
They are,
my favorite part is the corner pieces.
well, the interesting thing about this brownie recipe is that all pieces are created equal. Even the corner pieces are the same consistency and texture as the rest of the brownies. So
There's
you know
no
how like
part?
no, there's no crunchy part. And that's why I like it, because it's not, you know, you don't have the corners and the middles and everybody fighting over who gets the corner in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because some people like the corner pieces, but these are all basically the same.
They're all middles.
They're all middles, which is what I like. So for me, it works. All right, so I mixed the chocolate in there. You can see, and now I'm going to add the flour. I feel like Ina Garten here. So one thing I was going to say, so if you have a recipe and you want to try to make it gluten-free, the flour is not necessarily a one-for-one exchange. For whatever reason, with gluten-free recipes, you typically need to use more liquid.
Okay.
But this one works as a one-for-one exchange. So that's nice. Like when I make banana bread, I add in an extra banana. Mm-hmm. And some extra nuts, and then you can't really tell the difference. And now we add the chocolate chips. And you have homemade brownies. And you know, a lot of people don't make homemade stuff because they think it's too much work or it's hard or something. But this is pretty easy.
And quick.
Yeah. It's really quick, and it's no crazy ingredients.
So once it's baked, how long do you let it put into it?
Well, I actually really like my brownies cold, so I like to put them in the refrigerator or even freeze them and then let them thaw out enough so you don't break your teeth.
Oh my.
But they take anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes to cook, and that's going to depend on your oven. In my oven, they take closer to 30.
And what temperature do you bake them at?
350. All right. So they're all in there. And we just put them in the oven. And then my favorite thing about my Apple Watch is my timer. Because when you forget and you leave the room, it goes with you. So I usually set it for about 26 minutes to start. 27 I'll do for mine. And then, yeah, that's it.
So in half an hour, we'll have brownies.
No, in half an hour, I'll have brownies. You'll have visions of brownies, but you won't have the brownies.
Ah, she's rubbing it in. Well, I'll get to try them tomorrow, maybe, if you're feeling magnanimous.
You can endorse them.
Yes, that's right.
It shouldn't just be me saying this is fabulous brownies.
Okay. I think we definitely need to do that.
Yeah.
I look forward to trying it. And, you know, everyone, while you're home, it sounds like it's 10-minute prep work, if that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for doing this, Carol.
Hey, no problem.
All right. Bye-bye.